Buckner, Missouri.
And bow before my Lord. Let every nation bow before him, bow before my Lord. Let every nation. Is secure in the hand of the Lord. This is written for future generations. They will come and praise the Lord. And a singer from every hidden nation will come and praise and bow before my Lord.
Well, hey, welcome everybody to One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra, and get revved up because we're going to have a fun time tonight. I know there's a guy that is extremely excited to get started, and I'm not even going to waste time bringing him in here. So we'll do our little intro that we like to do. I wanted to do a little different one, but it still kind of fits. So let's go ahead and see if we can bring him in here real quick. Jay, what are you doing? I don't even know what I'm doing over here. I'm hitting all sorts of buttons and stuff's going crazy. How you doing?
Dad, quit pushing buttons.
I tried to hit the smoke and it wouldn't come on.
Oh, that's all right. I don't need all that smoke. I think we had plenty of it during that video. Oh my goodness, that tractor was that a tractor? I thought it was a sports car. Did you see how fast it was moving?
Yes, I did. I would not want to get in the way of that.
I'd love to be one of those announcers. He had me cracking up. He's listening to her. He's like, holy moly, did you see that? Did you see that tractor going? That's Sydnee. Oh, he had me rolling.
You know who that guy was? You know who that was? It was Delton.
That was Delton?
Delton Rissler. Yep.
Got an awesome job, I tell you what. Had me fired up. I thought, oh, that announcer is getting it, and so would I. Boy, Delton's going to bring it tonight, I'll tell you what. So, I'll give a little introduction. In every issue of Sports Locker magazine, I do get the final word. I get my own little article. It's called The Final Page.
I don't know why I do that, but yeah, you do.
I like to argue with you, so finally you said, you know what, just take the last page. Anyways, I like to use that page to get some thoughts off my mind and maybe share some fun stories with you as the readers. And so one of the things that I have recently started doing was I like to write about sports that, aren't really talked about a lot. Just some off-the-wall sports, but they're still sports that take athleticism and skill. And what you just watched on that video, that takes athleticism and skill. And so I was pretty pumped when I found out that tonight we were going to have on Sydnee Summers, and she is just one of the top performers in the tractor pulling sport right now. And so I got very excited. For some of you that don't know about tractor pulling, or they call it power pulling, it's been around in an official capacity since about 1969, and that's when they created the NTPA, which is the National Tractors Pulling Association. But the idea of farmers wanting to test their strength or test their power, that's been going back before engines were invented. Back in the early 1900s, they used to load up wagons and weigh them down, and all the farmers would get their horses attached and see whose horses were stronger. So we've been doing this since we could. So in 1929, when engines started coming and the tractors were coming around, guess what? People started pulling their tractors. And so, anyways, Sydnee and her dad, they've been doing this for quite some time. And so you can see that's why she's gotten so good. And if you've not been to one of these competitions, I recommend it. It's loud, it's fun, it's exciting. Did I mention that it's loud? Did you hear how loud that engine was? Just in the video, could you imagine being there and hearing it, feeling it in your soul? No wonder Delton loves going to those shows. So when I was reading up on Sydnee, I found an excerpt from agricultural.com, and it was talking about the John Deere 6030 series. This is what they had to say. Sydnee Summers is the young lady in the pink helmet, and she stole the Colorblind tractor right out from under her dad's nose while he wasn't looking. The Summers family lives just outside of Kansas City, and 2020 was the year that Sydnee really upped her driving game. She routinely beats up on the boys, get them girl, and she does it with a smile. I love that. So when I read that got me fired up. I wanted to share that with you all. And as I kind of spoiled tonight, we also have on Delton Rissler. Now, I know you guys have heard that name a lot. Delton and Ashley Rissler from Diesel Power Plus. I'm sporting one of their signature hats that I love to wear. And if you guys don't know, you can go on Diesel Power Plus. Can't think of the full website, but dieselpowerplus.com. And I'm telling you, I love that website. You can look through all their clothing. I think they only have like a flat rate $2.99 shipping charge. I mean, that thing is awesome. So go on Diesel Power Plus, check out some of the gear. You can get cool hats like this. We absolutely love them. They've been a faithful sponsor of One Nation, and they tune in and share every week as well. So we thank them for that.
Hey, real quick, Ashley, Delton's wife came on and said that she stole our hearts too. So that's awesome, Sydnee. Ashley's a very neat lady, and she is married to Delton, and you know that is saying a lot right there. That's saying a lot because that guy
that's a good woman.
That guy is everywhere, and she's got to rein that man in, and you will see tonight why she has to rein him in. So, hey, I want to encourage anybody to make any comments as we go through the program. If you have comments about Sydnee, about Delton, about why Jay and I are the way that we are, we don't quite know what to respond to that, but we'll think of something.
Why are you the way that you are?
I don't know. But before we do that, and before we bring them in, I want to do a quick promo of something we have coming up here in Jeff City. So hold on just a second. All right, as you guys can see, we've got Aaron Schust coming here to Jefferson City on Saturday, August 28th, and it's at Redemption Inside the Walls. If you want to see an amazing concert, make sure you get out here. Go on to redemptioninsidethewalls.com, get your tickets, and we would love to see you out there. That's Saturday, August 28th, and I know you're thinking you got to be there. So if you have questions, go to Redemption Inside the Walls. We'll take care of you. All right. Jay, are you ready to bring them in?
Like you said, I'm revved up.
Well, rev it up. Here we go. Hey, how are you guys doing?
Good.
Good. How are you?
We are awesome. You know what, Sydnee, you're bringing the heat because you got a whole bunch of people that are on here that are watching. I mean, we've got the Summers clan. I mean, I know you're talking about your tractor pulling family. There's a whole bunch of people on here that are your tractor pulling family, and you know, Delton, I think there's one person that is for you, and one person for me, and one person for Jay. So, you know, we're kind of getting left out. Oh, well.
That's awesome.
Hey, Susan Hodges said, "Hey, Sydnee."
Hi.
All right. Awesome. Jay, why don't you kick this thing off?
Dude, Sydnee, talk about some awesome runs that we were watching before the program there. That was cool. Uh, for
Thank
those who
you.
are not for those who are not really familiar with tractor pulling, why don't you tell us about the sport and what class you compete in?
Okay, so tractor pulling, a lot of people think like when you first start watching it, they think that it's on who goes the fastest, but tractor pulling is on who goes the farthest. There's two white lines down the track. You have to stay in those white lines, and what makes it a competition is as you go down the track, there's a box on the sled. The closer the box gets to you, the harder it is to keep going forward. There's also a pan on the sled that drops and makes it harder to go forward as well. I pull a 9500 limited pro stock. It's also known as the 4-1 class, so that's the size of the turbo. I've only been pulling in this class for I'd say like 2 years now. It's definitely a huge learning experience for me still.
That, that's great. Oh boy, you got other people. Linda Summers. Hey, Sydney. Leonard Getz.
Hi, Grandma.
Sydney, you rock girl from Leonard Getz. That's awesome. And of course, Grandma's on here. That's great. Hey,
Yes,
I want to.
she's
I
my
wanted,
biggest fan.
That's great. I wanted to share something. Jay was talking about you taking the tractor out from underneath your dad. That's kind of how the same thing I feel. He took the final page out from underneath me, so I know how your dad feels. There you go.
Yeah,
That's just
I,
what
I
us
think
awesome, ambitious kids do. Come on now,
Yeah.
Sydney. Come on.
Yep.
I think he secretly loves it.
That's good. I'm sure he does, and I secretly am. Well, I'm not secret. I'm just gonna be open. I'm glad he's doing the final page. That's awesome. It's good. Hey Jay, go ahead and continue with the next one.
All right. So as I'm reading about you, I keep reading Team Colorblind. Team Colorblind. How did you come up with that name? What's that name about?
So all my life I've grown up on if it's not red, it stays in the shed. We farm with all red tractors. We've always anybody that has John Deere, it's always been like, you guys have John Deere, we have Case. Like if you're in the farming community, you know that it's kind of like rivals in the farming world. So when we bought our John Deere pulling tractor, it was a really big deal for us because we've always been big on all red tractors. So that's why we came up with the name Colorblind because we farm with all red and pull with green. So we go by like colorblind pulling team, and then on the bottom of our tractor it says seeing red. So that's how we came up with that. We were really happy. My dad actually came up with that, and it fits perfectly.
That's cool.
Yeah, that
My father-in-law has a red tractor just right up the hill, and I pretty much don't think that can pull anything. Nothing. That can hardly pull the plow behind it. It's pretty rough. I think it's just for taking people around on nice little convenient rides through the woods, and that's about it.
Little cruises.
Yeah, little cruise does nothing for snow removal. I'm just telling you right now. So,
Dad, I would ask you to have Sydney look at it, but after she did, you'd probably be flying off the tractor. So don't do that. Don't let her touch it.
Okay. I might let her drive it and see if she can get it to do something. That would be great.
There you go. There you go.
There we go.
Yeah. Hey, Sydney, I know last year, 2020, was kind of a different year for a lot of people. And it was I think, a difficult thing that a lot of people went through as far as just all the different stuff going on with the pandemic and things like that. But you seem to just kind of move forward and take a leap. Tell us a little bit about that.
So right when COVID hit is when we were putting on Cowtown Showdown in Kansas City. It's a big indoor pool that my dad put on, and the day COVID kind of became a real thing, we were putting on that tractor pull, and that was when I got to pull my dad's tractor for the first time indoors. And then literally the day after that, the whole world shut down, and no one knew when we were going to get to really pull again. And I had came off of that really great weekend getting to drive his tractor. And so all summer we started really late in the season because we couldn't have any pulls at first. So when I finally got to get on the tractor again, I was ready to go. I had got a little taste of it in my mouth, so I was ready to get back at it. And then we never really knew when we were going to have another pull. Like we'd have one, and then county would change their rules and they would shut down again, and we wouldn't be able to go. So when we got to get back at it full swing towards the end of last summer, beginning of fall, I was super excited.
Well, good. It seems like you have a lot of fun with the sport, and when you're having fun, things just seem to go a little bit smoother and better. I know you had a little bit of a rough go of it on this past Saturday. Tell everybody a little bit about that.
So this past Saturday, I was pulling in McLeod, Kansas, and I had a good pass, my first pass down the track, and it was a shootout. So the top tractors come back and pull again, and I hadn't made it in the top tractors, but a few people dropped out. So when I came back to pull, I had a really good pass going on, and the track was kind of pulling me to the right a little bit. So I tapped my left brake, and had so much ground speed when I tapped my left brake that my left back tire came unhooked from the track, and they pulled the kill, which is the kill is what shuts your tractor off. They can do that from the sled that you pull. And the sled hit me. I got a little sideways, almost went over, but luckily with all the technology and safety equipment now, it saved me. I was all right. I just have a little bit of a tight neck, but I was just really thankful for all the people that were there and making sure I was okay.
Yeah, I'm sure that was that quick moment of, oh boy, what's getting ready to happen here.
Yeah.
Jay, how would you have been with that?
My heart's already skipped about 2 beats just listening to the story. If I was there, Delton would have to give me mouth to mouth or something. Wake me up.
No.
I am hurt.
You see him shaking his head.
Delton would want to save my life.
Maybe not.
My bad. Delton, were you there? Did you get to see this happen?
No, I didn't. I was. We were down in Texas when they were pulling up there. My other trailer was up there, but I wasn't there personally. And when I heard about it, she showed me the video. I was like, oh. I heard that I forget who it was that told me that she had had a bad pass, and the sled ended up being about sideways across the track after it was over. And I thought, wow. And then when I saw her last night at Mountain City, Kansas, she showed me the video, and that was it was crazy.
Yeah,
I bet.
It definitely didn't seem as bad when it happened because it all happened so quick. But then when I got back to the trailer and was watching the video, I was like, oh my goodness, that was rough.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, it's good you got right back in and win again, and I know you're going to be back at it again next weekend.
Yep.
Delton, you get to go to a lot of events. Tell us a little bit about some of these different competitions you've been to and what your perception is as far as when you watch Sydnee compete.
Well, for those that are in tractor pulling, you understand this. It's a family. I know like some sports, if you're going through high school and you go through some sports, you get out of there, you go on with life, and you gotta have friends and stuff from there. But tractor pulling is so unique. And once you get in it and you've been there, you just become family with everybody there. It's a competition. Everybody is, they're trying their hardest to beat the other guy, but after it's all over, they got their arms around each other and they're just hanging out, and it's a good time, and they're just having a good time. And it's just it's something that most people don't get to experience, really. I mean, while we've been doing this for a few years, we've got to be able to just make a lot of friends. And when you lose some of those, as everybody knows, the tractor pulling people are getting older, and you lose some, it really hurts.
It's like you said, it's definitely a family. Go ahead, Sydnee.
I can, off of that, when I had my great pass down in Owensville last Saturday night, I think it was, I was the last tractor to go down the track, and I had pulled into first place, so everyone else had already pulled. But the coolest thing was after I had just got to the end of the track, one of the pullers that I pull against, Randy came up to my tractor running and screaming and like giving me a high five, and I had just beat him. But it's like a whole family. Like, you don't really care who wins, who loses. We all love seeing each other do great.
Oh, that's cool. Jay, I don't know if your 5 kids, I don't know if that would happen in that circumstance, would it?
No, they typically punch each other, if they lose. It's a lot of fighting. So this is a mature family that I'm
you can show this video to my grandchildren, and you can just tell them, here's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah, absolutely.
But what we didn't say is Jay encourages it. He's the one that's in there stirring it all up.
I mean, I like to watch a good throwdown.
Oh, okay. Hey, we've flown through this first segment. Let's go ahead and bring on our first sponsor. And you guys might recognize a little bit of what's going on with this one right here. So we're going to go ahead and do our first sponsor here. Well, that, of course, was the Dairy Barn, which is out in Diesel Power Plus's building right out there off of Highway 50 and 87 in California, Missouri. And that little video of me eating ice cream at the end is just kind of a little, it's not really a taunting thing for Jay, but he really wants to try that ice cream. And he hasn't got to do it yet. You know, I don't know if you can send it to him in Colorado or not, but I don't know. He's ready.
Next time I order a hat, I'm going to put in the special notes, send me some ice cream with that. Come on, Del. Come on.
I'll send it, but it might not come as ice cream after you get it.
Yeah.
Get some milk.
Oh, yeah. That would not be good. Actually, I bet it still tastes pretty good. I'm always willing to try, so
I'll tell you what I do for you. I'd go and dip a spoon in ice cream, wrap it in a napkin, and send it along so you can at least sniff it when you get it.
That's so kind.
That's good.
That is so
That's
kind.
very good.
Hey, everybody that's watching, thank you guys for joining us so much. Just make sure that you share and like this Facebook page so that we can get this video out to as many of your friends as possible. Good, entertaining stuff. Sydnee, good stuff so far. And I know Jay's got some more questions, so if you're ready, he's going to fire away.
Let's do it.
All right.
All right. So, Sydnee, did you just wake up one day and be like, Dad, I want to pull tractors? I'm trying to hear, where did you develop this love for tractor pulling, and how long you been doing it?
So I started tractor pulling when I was 9, so 9 years ago. The whole reason I got into it is I was over at my grandma's house one day, and she had all these trophies that had tractors on the top. And I was like 7 or 8, and you're in that curious stage. Started asking questions, and they were my dad's from when he used to pull when he was younger. He pulled when he was like, we had this conversation today, like 10, 11, 12 is right around then is when he started pulling. And he started pulling on Olivers, and that's what I originally started pulling on. And so when I started asking questions, he was like, well, let's go pulling, let's watch. And as soon as I watched that first pull, I was like, Dad, I want to do this. So I practiced up for a while, and then I started when I was 9.
That's so cool. I've got some grandkids that are 11, 10, 8, 5, and now a newborn. So Jay, you need to go out and find that tractor.
You're not wrong. You
There
are
you
not
go.
wrong.
I know a couple of them that would definitely be for that, and they would be ready to go.
Yeah, they are a little adrenaline junkies, and I see that Sydnee is. You just like that adrenaline, huh?
Absolutely.
That's awesome.
Absolutely. They would love it.
I know Audrey will enjoy watching this video, and she is definitely competitive, and she's all girls, so she will enjoy this interview. Delton, there's a lot of these events that Sydnee competes in and that you travel to. Tell us a little bit about some of the different events that are coming up here in the near future.
Okay, we got some really cool events that will be taking place. Actually, starting I believe this weekend. One of them will be in Macon, Missouri, with the Honor Flight. That's brought to you by the Outlaw Tractor Pull Association. And I mean, we go, like, for us, we're the merchandise trader for the Outlaws, Missouri State, and Mid-Missouri Tractor Pull Association. So we go to events all over Missouri. And now, since we joined in with the Outlaws, we're taking it out of state, 500-600 miles away. But there's some really cool pulling that's going to be happening in our area this next week. If you go onto their websites, outlawpulling.com, they have their own app. You can get their app and download on your phone, and it'll give you updates of drivers and where they finish that stuff. You go to Missouri State polling.com, and you can there's all kinds of the events are posted there. Same with Mid Missouri. If you go on their website and check their sites out what's going on, you can go in there and see where the next pool is at. I never can remember where we're at. Don't remember where we're going. So you asked me. I know we're going to Macon, and then I know the state fair kicks off this Sunday, and I think Westphalia with Mid Missouri. But the next weekend, no. I don't even know where we're going at, this weekend, let alone next weekend and the next. This is how we go. We're always going to go for the time. We did this weekend, look, okay, where are we going this weekend? And usually it's like, oh no, there's a show Wednesday. We got to get stuff ready now and get ready to go. So it's pretty crazy. That's our whole life runs of.
So we should have just basically said, Ashley, would you answer this question? Mm-hmm.
There you go.
Yeah. or if Breheim's on here, she's usually like when I do a live Facebook, I'm like, we're at I don't know where we're at, but we're somewhere at a tractor pull, right? And she's usually typing and sharing on my comments, where we're at. I'm like, oh yeah, here's where we're at. And so she keeps a pretty good check on me.
It's good to have people that do that, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, good. Hey, I noticed that, again, I'm seeing a bunch of people that are logging on here. Again, thank you guys so much for joining on here, and I know you think a lot of Sydnee, and thanks for joining us. I did see, however, that Laura Bourne out there in Montrose, Colorado, where Jay is, she's watching, and, she doesn't pull tractors, but I did see video, well, maybe she does, I don't know, but I did see video this past winter of her pulling all of these kids behind a sled on a four-wheeler, and I think, she would enjoy doing a tractor pull.
Well, if anyone could do it out here in Montrose, Colorado, I'm telling you, it's Laura Bourne. That woman is a legend. So thanks
she is
for
awesome,
watching, Laura. We appreciate it. Sydnee, awesome. You keep talking about all these events you've been at. Like you're like, oh yeah, 2 weekends ago I was there. Last weekend I lost a tire, almost flipped. I'm fine. You have all of these competitions going. How busy are you? Like, is this every weekend, every other weekend? Is it just this season? What's the schedule look like for you?
I'm pretty busy all the time. I honestly never really know if I'm coming or going because we're always somewhere different. Right now, pulling season is in full swing for us. Like the past few weekends, we've been somewhere Friday, Saturday, Sunday. This upcoming week, I'll be somewhere Friday, Saturday, and Sunday as well. And this is like the busiest part of the season, but we'll go all the way through normally the end of September. But I don't know where I'm going to be because I'm getting ready to move into college. So college is really getting in the way of my tractor pulling.
Well, speaking of that, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about where you're going to college, what you're going to be doing there.
So I'm going to be going to K-State. I'm going to major in agribusiness, and my goal is to minor in agronomy as well. I was the last girl in our family, so the farm is really important to me, and I don't want to see it go anywhere. So that's my goal eventually, is just work with my dad. And before that, I might do some ag sales and a seed rep or something. But my end goal is working on the farm with my dad.
That is wonderful. I grew up in Salina, Kansas, so I'm from out that way.
Yeah.
And my cousin, she went to K-State and went up there with her numerous times. So my sister, who lives in Burlingame, Kansas, south of Topeka, they are huge Wildcat fans, and so I know that they will be pulling for you, and they'll be watching this, and they'll be like, when did they get somebody like this on? That is awesome. And it all has to do with the Wildcats. I mean, I don't know.
Heck yeah. I haven't heard a bad thing about K-State, so I'm excited.
Yeah, that's good. It's a good community out there in Manhattan. It's again, I can remember when we were playing against them in the I-70 series in football, and they used to say that those guys are corn-fed. They are huge. They had huge linemen, and we were like, why are we playing against these guys? They're like from Nebraska, Cornhuskers or something. So anyway, you'll have a lot of fun in that community. They'll be happy to have you there, and I know that your family is excited about what you want to do with your future. That is a really, really neat thing. Of course, we got more
Thank
people
you.
saying, yeah, you're welcome. We have some people saying, hey, Sydney, that's Mackenzie, I think, Theeding or Teeding. How do you say it?
I think it's Thiedman. I'd have to see it again. It's hard to pronounce.
Let me pull it up and you can do it because I butchered it.
Oh goodness. I don't know if I can do it right now.
Okay, we'll just say
I
Mackenzie.
don't know.
Mackenzie, thank you. That's awesome. And then you have Todd Doman. And
Go
then,
Cats. Heck yeah.
yeah. And then we had Mackenzie say it's T-Ding. T-Ding. So
That's how
she,
we say okay.
Mackenzie, thank you. As you can see, we are not good at that, and I am so thankful I am not an announcer for the Olympics because I would butcher it all. I just make stuff up. It doesn't matter. All right, Jay, continue.
Sydney, why don't you tell us a little bit about your highlights so far, like in your whole career? What are some of your top moments?
I think I would go all the way back to my first pull. When I was 9, I was on a 12,500 pound tractor, and my dad had to back it into the sled for me because that was a little out of my league then. He backed it in, and I sat on the fender, and I went down the track, and it was one of the coolest things because no one thought this little girl would be driving the tractor. And after that, I got fourth place that night, which obviously you don't win anything for fourth place, but the community that I was pulling in that night, they went out of their way, and Ron Cortez got a trophy made for me just for me. And that's just a big part of the pulling community. Like they're always rooting for you, no matter if you're competing or not. So that was really cool.
That's good. Hey, we're flying through things, so we're gonna go ahead and do our other sponsor here real quick. I am gonna play a promotion for the concert, and then we'll follow up with our sponsor. So, here's a Redemption Inside the Walls concert that's happening on August 28th.
Light in the darkness. Redemption Inside the Walls with Aaron Schust. A powerful evening of hope and healing. Saturday, August 28th at the Jefferson City Jaycees Fairgrounds. Doors open with special events at 5 p.m. Concert at 7:30. Tickets for Aaron Schust are on sale now. RedemptionInsideTheWalls.eventbrite.com. Find out more at RedemptionInsideTheWalls.com.
Isn't Aaron Schust amazing? I can't wait for his ministry and music August 28th at the Redemption Inside the Walls concert. Come join us and renew your soul. If you do not know our Lord and Savior, He is calling you. Come learn the love that God has for you. Hi, I'm Paula Benny with CNS Business Services. Right now, businesses are desperately needing workers to fill positions during this peak time. Whether you are looking for full, part-time, or remote, or flex hours, we have an abundance of labor, clerical, and professional positions. Give CNS a call today. My personal song favorite from Aaron is My Savior, My God. I can't wait. Thank you.
Well, Paula Benny and CNS Business Services, they're just like Delton. They've been sponsoring this program, have made it possible to bring on superstars like Sydnee Summers, and we just want to thank Paula and Delton again, you guys, for doing this. Jay and I, we just get to have a lot of fun, get to meet a lot of really neat people, and again, Sydney, he was pumped up when he found out that we were doing tractor pulling, and so we're going to go into this last segment. Jay's still revved up, and I'm going to let him kick it off. So here we go.
All right. So, Sydney, what do you appreciate about businesses like Diesel Power Plus and the people that support you, like Delton and Ashley Lister?
They are definitely one of a kind. I remember when I was younger and I didn't really know Delton or Ashley yet. I remember going pulling, and I always begged my dad, I want one of their t-shirts, please. Like every single time we went pulling. And there's still not a pull where you don't see tons of people around their trailer, and they do so many good things for the sport and help promoting it and getting it out there to the world. And pulling wouldn't be the same without people like them promoting it and getting the word out. Their family is always super nice to me, super welcoming. Good hook or bad hook, they always have a smile on their face and are super happy. It was really cool last Monday, when I won that big check that Delton had made, and he got to present it to me on the track. That was a really cool moment to be with him and his family for that. And me and my dad just appreciate everything they do.
They do a lot, and they do a lot not only at tractor pulls, but they do a lot in the California community all around here, and we love and appreciate them, and they're just a great family. Even though Delton doesn't know where he's at a lot of times, it's still okay.
It's okay, Delton. It's okay.
Somebody will tell him. But hey, Delton, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about Diesel Power Plus? What can people expect to find there? And just kind of tell them about what you guys do.
Well, what we do, I mean, our whole business is revolved around diesel apparel and merchandise. So I was in auto repair for 10 years. I had my own shop, and then I kind of started selling some stuff online, and we just kind of grew it from there. And about 14 years ago, we started going to some events and stuff, and we started doing some tractor pulls. And that's just where it kind of fell into place. It was a good way to get out there and promote our business and also take care of the community. Me and my wife both became chaplains for Racers for Christ. It's actually under their branch, Pullers for Christ. So we knew and we felt like it was a way to not only be able to serve the community, but also be a light in the community that we go into. But I would say probably 10 years ago, I was doing a show in Boonville, Missouri. I don't think Jamie Felger was there yet promoting it, but we were doing a show, and Sydnee's dad came up to me and said, we have a tractor pull we're going to be doing in Buckner, Missouri. Would you be interested in coming and setting up there? And I said, well, yeah. And so we went there, and we've been there ever since. That's been 10 years ago. And I watched that show just keep building and building. It was Brush Pullers of Missouri, and I think Missouri State, was the two sanctions that were there. And we keep growing it. And, I've seen it grow to so big now where, he has Outlaws and PPL and a couple other sanctions that have come along and been a part of that show. And now, he's doing the Cowtown Showdown in Kansas City, Missouri, where, again, that is going to be on for next year in March. And it's just an excellent show. But I remember this little girl coming in there, and she would jump on that Oliver. And I do remember that first time of seeing her pull, where her dad would bring the tractor in, back it up, hook it up to the sled, and she'd climb up there, and she could barely reach the clutch pedals and the brake pedals, and she'd just pull it on. And it's inspiring to watch somebody like that. So when Kurt came and said, hey, I'd like you to do an interview with you at Diesel Power Plus, I said, yeah, that's great. I said, he wanted to talk about tractor pulling. I said, well, hey, it's all about, the youth and stuff, and it's around high school. And I said, I have somebody I know I've kind of watched grow into the sport this whole time. And I said, that's what I said. I'd like to see if she'd be interested in coming along and doing it. So that's what kind of inspired me to ask Cindy. And I asked her, and she goes, yeah, she'd be interested. I said, well, that's great. Let's go.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Heck yeah.
Hey, Sydnee, real quick, somebody has asked, are you ready for more HP? I don't know what that means. Tell us.
Horsepower.
Horsepower.
That is Cole. He works on our tractor, and he's a good family friend of ours. He's giving me a hard time.
Well, if you have any more horsepower than you already have, I don't know if Jay could handle it. Also,
maybe
Andrew.
One of these days.
Also, Andrew Dolan says, so Sydnee, you coming out and not only knocking on doors but blasting through them. Is your dad now going to retire and let you take over, or is another tractor going to come out?
Oh, that's a good question. For now, we're sticking with this one. I did let Dad drive last night, and he told me after that he needed lessons from me since he hadn't got to drive in a while. But one of our goals is it'll be a while, but we want to make a 2255 Pro Stock eventually. It'll be a while, but that's our goal.
Yeah, that's great. He, again, you're kind of just like taking Dad's spot, and it seems to be he's okay with it. But it's just like, Dad, get out of the way. Let somebody do this. That is, I'm not even going to say it. You can just fill in the blanks. But hey, Paula Benny has joined us, and from CNS Business Services. You just saw her a little bit ago. She said that's awesome. So if families that pull together stay together.
Absolutely, we hear that saying a lot. It's so true.
Yeah. And then Melanie Morton Porter out there in California, we featured her daughter Tristan in the magazine, and She says, "Girl power. I've loved listening to your story, Sydnee. Keep up the great work."
Well, thank you.
Yeah. Good. Jake, we got just a couple more questions. Why don't you go ahead?
Sounds good. So, obviously, I love hearing Delton talk about watching you, just jump on that tractor, 9 years old, just go for it. It seems like when you jump into it, you just jump full steam ahead. He says, "Hey, you want to be on an interview?" You said, "Yeah, let's do this. I'm ready to go." And I just want to know, like, what difficulties have you faced, throughout your past 9 years of doing this?
Hey, I want to
I would
step in
say
real quick. Hang on, I want to step in. Well, the one difficulty was last Monday night in California, Missouri. I shoved the mic in her face and I was telling her, and she's, I don't know what to say. I said, well, just thank everybody who brought you here.
He gave me the mic, and I was so excited from the pass I had, and he gave it to me, and I seriously said that I didn't know what to say right now. I was like, "Good one, Sydnee."
That's okay. As you can tell, we have that problem too. So go ahead, finish on what you're saying.
Definitely at first, some of the learning curves I had was definitely being a girl in like a man's world. I've grown up on a farm and everything, but a lot of tractor things don't come like second nature to me like they do to most of the guys. Down in Wheatland, Missouri last year, I've learned to laugh at my mistakes now, but I had a really good pass going and it was pulling me to the right, and my girl brain had never thought about left brake takes you to the left and right brake takes you to the right. For some reason, in that split second, I got it confused, and I took out a sign, a fire extinguisher, got out of bounds, got disqualified. So that's definitely, it's part of the sport. So
That is great. You took out a fire. You said a fire hydrant or fire extinguisher. What was
fire
that?
extinguisher, yeah.
Okay.
I took it out big, hit my wheel.
Okay.
Go big or go home is what I like to say about
Yeah,
that.
I was gonna say, man, a fire hydrant, that would have been explosive. That would have been awesome.
Oh yeah.
Hey, your dad jumped in here real quick and he said it's more fun to watch her than it is to drive. So I know you definitely get to that point, and I know he's very proud of you. Yeah, there you go, Jay. I'm proud of you too.
He's the best.
Awesome. Chad Baldwin, he's responding, said, "Sid is a great ambassador for the sport. The entire Summers family is."
Oh, thank you. We got to meet him this past weekend in person, and his son was with him, and he got to check out the tractor and check it all out. They were really good people.
Yeah, we had a picture of you signing your autograph or signing something on the back of a young man's T-shirt. Do you get a lot of kids come up to you, ask for your autograph, different things?
Definitely that's been something that's new to me from this season. I've got a lot more exposure this season, and one of the biggest things to me is I want to make a good pass and I want to do good, but promoting the sport of pulling is really huge to me. So I love seeing all the younger kids get into it, and they really think I'm a celebrity sometimes, and I just feel like I'm a normal person. And so when they come up, I give out stickers, autographs. Like, I just like to see the kids enjoying it. That's really big for me because we need the kids involved for the sport to continue.
Yeah. What would you tell some of these young kids that kind of see that and they're excited about it? How would you tell them to go about things?
I'm big on, you got to start somewhere. I know people always are like, oh, we see the fast tractors, the cool tractors, they want to jump right onto that, but you got to start somewhere, and pulling is not all about winning. I mean, we all like to win, but the family and the community and just the memories I've got to make and meet all new people from all over the United States, that's one of the best things. And you just have to be confident when you're on the tractor, and you have to know that you're in control and that it's not in control of you. So that's a really big part of it.
Well, good. The question that just popped up from Greg is, where are you pulling at next, Sydnee?
So this Friday, I'll be in Marthasville, Missouri. I think that's how you pronounce that. And then Saturday, I'll be in Macon, Missouri. And Sunday, I'll be at the State Fair.
Okay. You know, for just a moment, I thought you were going to ask Delton for your schedule, but I saw you refrain. That's great.
I should have. It would have been a good laugh.
Yeah. Hey, it would, and we still had a good laugh anyway. Hey, Delton, any final comments that you want to make, just about the sport of tractor pulling and what people can enjoy about that or look forward to in that?
Well, like Sydney said, we want to get the youth involved in it more because there's a lot of guys out there, and I'm telling you, they're all 60, 70, 80 years old that are pulling these trucks and tractors, and they're slowly going away. When I came into this about 14 years ago, we have an old man named Dennis Scobie that is a flagman for Mid Missouri Truck and Tractor Pull Association, and he was talking with me, and he's like he wanted to make the sport better and bigger, and that was always my vision. Everywhere we go, if I show up to an event, one thing's in bed. I want to promote tractor pulling. I want the promoter to have a success, and I wanted to make it good for the next year and the next year to come. Because we get one shot at this to make it big and try to make it, put a dent in it and make the sport awesome to keep it growing. Because, like you said, it's so much about friends and family. Once you've come to a couple tractor pulls and you went down to the pits and you got to see the drivers and talk with them, and if you get involved in tractor pulling, you just become part of the family, and it's something that you can rely on these people and as being there for you no matter what.
That's exactly right. And again, I think from just seeing some of the different posts, just talking about the pulling family, I really see that that's something that's just going to continue to move forward. And I don't think there's going to be any problem, especially having good examples like Sydnee Summers that are out there for these young kids to say, I want to do that. And if they want to get started with a slow tractor, again, I've got a slow tractor just right up here in the barn. And
There we go.
You can get started with that. That would work. Ashley said that Dennis Scobie is a great man. So thank you, Ashley. Again, Ashley, you are a great woman. Keep Delton on schedule so he knows where he's going. We appreciate you guys.
In line.
That's right. Real quick, Sydney, any final comments that you have? Thank you again so much for being on the program.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I really agree with everything Delton said. Just if you're not familiar in the polling world, go to a poll, go to the pits, meet the pollers. Any poller I know is happy to talk to you, answer any of your questions. We're all big on just getting the sport out there and getting it more exposure. So get out to your local polls and check it out.
Very good. Ashley responded, keeping Delton in line. That's a very tough job.
One thing, I want, if I can make it 1 minute here. One thing we did when we were at Pleasant Hill this year, I had one of the pullers that I sell his shirts on my trailer was standing at the back, and these kids came up and they're like, oh, they like that shirt. And I said, well, I tell you what, if you like that shirt, the driver of the shirt's right there. I said, would you like his autograph? I'm like, oh, and they lit up, and the one kid's like, oh, I want a shirt too. And it started my mind thinking of trying to get a little bit more of the drivers involved around our trailer and maybe have an autograph session in the pulling industry. Something you never see happen, but when we did that, I bet you we sold like 6 or 7 shirts then in a few, while he was there for probably a half hour. In that time, we sold shirts just because there was people there to get the autograph from him, and they loved it. So it was really cool, and I thought that inspired me to think, man, we need to do something like this on a regular basis.
Get ready, Sydney. You got to get all those things ready because he's going to be calling on you.
Exactly.
I have a good idea off of that. I'm gonna message you after this, Dalton. That was a good idea.
That's great. Hey, if the two of you can hold on for just a little bit while Jay gets the final word, of course we got to give him that. If the two of you hold on, we'll visit with you afterwards. But thank you again so much for coming on tonight. Thank you to everybody that's been watching. You guys have done great commenting. Again, make sure that you share this post. And Diesel Power Plus, look at it. Jay, point to yours. There you go. I'm just going to point to the bald head. There you go. We got it. All right, Sydney, Delton, thank you guys. We'll be with you in just a moment, okay? Wow.
Wow. What an awesome interview.
Yeah.
That was great.
Yes. So, when are you going to go get your tractor?
I'm going to have to get on Google and start figuring it out now. I definitely need a slow one though if I'm gonna pull. If my kids are pulling, they're daredevils. They'll take the fastest one they can find.
Deacon would go full steam ahead. I can tell you that right now.
Oh yeah, and going off that comment you just threw up there, it said thanks for focusing on a different type of sport tonight. And if you were watching in the very beginning, that's kind of a passion of mine. I love sports. And so obviously I love all of the regular sports. I love football, baseball, basketball, track. Like I love sports. I love finding off the wall sports, something that's unique, because those are the type of sports that take a different type of athleticism and a different type of skill. So again, that's why I was so excited when you said tractor pulling, because I was like, dude, this is going to be awesome. And I was not disappointed. Sydnee Summers is just a great inspiration. Like you talk about your granddaughter, that's my daughter. She's 11 years old. I love finding powerful women that she can look up to, and Sydnee is one of them. So I'm excited for Audrey to watch this interview, to get to see Sydnee, and then maybe to even get to watch some of her events and watch these videos. I'm all about, that girl power, woman up, because women are tough. They're tougher than me, my wife, my daughter. They're extremely tough. So I love that. I love that about Sydnee, and I love that she represents that, And so anyway, Sydnee, thanks for being on the show, and obviously Ken Summers, her dad. Thank you for stepping off the tractor and letting her hop on. I love I love that you said you love driving, but you love to watch her drive even more. So I thought that was awesome.
Jay,
Delton,
Jay, the only thing that would have made this program, I think, better for you tonight is if you would have had some Dairy Barn ice cream to eat while we had the program going.
Dude, I dream about it every night. I'm going to continue dreaming about it when I get there in October and we're doing interviews.
It's so good.
Never believe
it's so
I'm
good.
going to the Dairy Barn. I can't wait. Speaking of that, Delton, thank you so much for being on the show. You are a blast. You brought the energy with you. I couldn't believe I found out you were the announcer in that video. That was awesome. That was a very good surprise, because I was like, dude, that guy is great. He's like my twin. Turns out it was you. So Delton, thank you so much. Thanks for all you do for the community, for tractor pulling, and for people like Sydnee Summers. So Delton, you're awesome, and obviously you have an awesome wife, Ashley. Shout out to you too. So thank you guys for being on this show. Like Kurt said, we love to have fun. We just love to bring on awesome people every week. And in order for us to do that, we need you to like this page. We need you to comment on the page, share it with your friends. We've got YouTube you can go to, and you can share our old interviews as well. If you go, we bring it every week. We love having people on, and we just love telling awesome stories. So anyways, thank you guys so much. This is One Nation, a Sports Locker Magazine Extra, and we really, really love you guys. God bless, and have a great week.
God bless. We'll see you guys next week.